Hey, what's up guys, it's Apollo Uchiha here, back with the next part of What If Naruto Joined the Anbu. Now before continuing the story, I would like to tell you guys I couldn't find the notebook in which I wrote down my own story, so I have to write it down again, so you have to wait a little bit more. And yeah, that's pretty much it, and if you haven't, please leave a like and subscribe to my channel, then please do if you like the content of this channel. And without further ado, let's continue with our story. Yakumo's place, 5 days into Naruto's shift. Naruto and Angel padded along the forest floor surrounding the Kurama hideout. Moon, a ghostly orb above. Every trap was set and unactivated, and his clones reported no disturbance. So why was all his hair up straight? Angel was tense as well below him. Nicking his thumb with a kunai, he runs through some hand seals. Summoning jutsu, he whispers. Akira appears serious when she takes in her summoner's posture. Do you sense that? Naruto sighed. He taught Akira and Hisoka how to read signs. Well, sort of. They were still learning, but picked it up faster than he thought. Akira closed her eyes in concentration and nodded. Weird. I know that aura. An ID, it activates under the full moon. Kurama muttered. His first contact in days. An ID? Naruto asked. Figure it out, but hint, it's not a danger to you yet. Just go back to your pointless guarding. Naruto scowled but relaxed. Even if Kurama was being an ass, he wouldn't lead Naruto into trouble. Turning to a intense-looking Akira, the blonde shook his head. False alarm, sorry. You can go back. I'll summon you for sushi after my rotations in 2 days. He promised. Akira grinned as she shakily translated it and headed back home. He looks at Angel. We're done here. The shadow clones will wake us if we're needed. The tired duo heads inside their temporary lodging in the room above Yakumo's, a hatch poised to open for quick entrance through the roof. Naruto lay on his futon, still in complete uniform, pondering his charge. Yakumo Kurama just turned 15 days ago. Parents dead in a house fire and her genjutsu sealed away. Her eyes are so empty. Why? It bugged him to see someone his age be so depressed and yet so angry at everything. Naruto bolts upright with a kunai in hand. A malevolent chakra pulses below him, and in an instant he is in Yakumo's room with his medics. Please stop. Mother, father, don't hate me, she whimpers, though it became clear she's asleep. Dante administrates another drug before turning to Naruto. Sorry, mouse. Sometimes Yakumo-chan chakra seal activates, especially on a full moon. Nothing to worry about. Naruto tilts his head. Is it an ID, Dante? The medic stiffens and turns cold. It would be best if you drop it. There should be no more disturbances. Go back to sleep. Naruto wants to argue, but technically Dante was in charge, so he sunshines back through the open hatch. Hey, what was that? It was scary. Scarier than when you use Kurama's chakra, Angel whispered, while ducked under a table. He ordered her to stay back before he left. Something dark. Something no one wants to talk about, it seems. It's probably the reason Yakumo is up here. Anyways, let's go back to sleep. Tomorrow I have to compress the chakra in my fingers. For the last 5 days, Naruto would leave clones along with his captain, Henji wood clones, before going into the woods nearby and setting up a chakra barrier for 3 hours, practicing narrowing down where Kurama's chakra filtered through. So far, he was succeeding, but the strain left burns if maintained longer than a few minutes. Naruto suspected Kurama wasn't as free with his chakra as before, but didn't ask why. Next day, Naruto watched as Yakumo sat on a swing outside in her bathrobe, a pathetic loathing set in stone on her pasty face. He technically was supposed to be an unseen shadow, but Yakumo reminded him of himself when he was younger. She just didn't hide it like he did. Why are you so angry? He asked from a branch. The girl scowled up at him. Why not? I've been locked away, and my parents are dead. What's there to be happy about? Well, you're alive, aren't you? He questioned with a shrug. Really, he didn't like those who refused to move on. At least she had parents at one point. And for how long? How long before I'm ordered to be put to sleep? To stop existing? No, there is nothing to be happy for. Just be invisible like the other anbus that comes here, unseeing and uncaring. She turned to her head in the ground. Naruto didn't know what to do, so he further broke protocol. His captain would have an aneurysm if he ever found out. Are you allowed visitors? Yes, but no one comes. They treat me like a plug. Then I'll visit you, he said after a moment. Yakumo eyed the blonde in suspicion. Why would you do that? What could you get out of it? Naruto shrugged. I don't know. A friend, perhaps. Or nothing at all. Either way, may I come visit you sometimes? He landed on his feet, lazily walking back next to his charge. As she suspected and stepped into her room, the pale girl paused. You can come, but don't think it means for friends. She huffed before slamming the door. Naruto stood frozen with a smile. Of course not. Why? Why what? You promised to see the girl. Why would you? A cold-blooded killer do that. I'm not a cold-blooded, and it's because I can help her from being completely alone, Kurama roared. Why do you care, Naruto Uzumaki? Your heart has darkness. So what does another creature's feeling means to you? Or do you deny your own black heart? Kurama wasn't expecting an answer. Stupid fox. Of course my heart has darkness. Everybody does. Especially those in the life of shinobi. You admit it, therefore. You're tainted. You cannot help the girl. That's where you're wrong. It's human fate to have darkness. Then stop pretending to be good. But it's human nature to fight against the darkness and come out on top. That's what it means to be a human. To still be decent despite your past and pains. Kurama was stunned, and what he heard was slammed against his cage. You don't understand. He was pure. Why can't you be? Just leave. And the fox cut off the connection, leaving Naruto to his own thoughts as he went to protocol. Next day, Ferret arrives back. You promise? Yakumo stared and held out a pinky. Naruto nods and offers his up as they hook them in a promise. I promise. It won't be for a while, or that often with the tuning exams coming up, but I'll make it out here occasionally. Like I care, she declares in 180 and stalks inside. Ferret arrives as the door closes and turns towards his younger comrade with bandaged arms and neck. Thank you, Mouse. I'll take it from here. Dragon-sama wants you in his office tomorrow at 5 a.m. Great. No breaks for me. Naruto hung his head and set off through the trees to catch dinner and some relaxation. Meanwhile, Iwagakure, Deidara cackled as he flew away from his battle with Oniki, his new hands already an extension of himself. That will show him to deny me, stupid Oniki, trying to make me a future Kage and then saying I couldn't get that kenjutsu until I took the hat. To be a Kage is a desk job, not enough art. To, where should I go next? Deidara voiced his thoughts aloud as his bird soared. I know, Fire Country could use some explosions to match its name. The new missing nin altered his course with a grin. Oniki looked on in annoyance as his ex-apprentice flew away with a kenjutsu he was using as a bartering chip to retire. Around him, building burned and a 420 were injured from their battle, though none died. Still, they are defected, and with his rank and crime, he had been branded an S-rank criminal. Deidara, you were always too crazy for your own good. I shiver at the thought of you joining your enemies. Dragon's office, next day, crack of dawn. You summoned me, Dragon-sama. Naruto stood at attention as his commander sat back with a random piece of paper work. The man looked up after a moment and threw Naruto a scroll. Squad members Wolf and Cat just returned from apprehending Suna's shipment of weapons and has increased our supplies, blaming missing ninja. However, Konoha's armory plant is where? He looked up expectantly. Near the graveyard, sir. The most dead piece of land in our country besides the QB sealing site. It's southwest towards Bird's country. It's a target of Suna, isn't it? Most likely, yes. Gerard taught you shock tags and other simple security seals this past week. You will be traveling to plant today to set up various traps and seals to prevent any theft. Meanwhile, your captain is already there, rerouting the paths leading towards the plant. You have 3 days there along with 2 days travel time. Jiraiya will arrive on the last day to check over your work, so don't mess up. The seals and instructions in that scroll will create a barrier seal that you can link to the head jonin there. Yes, Dragon-sama. Naruto turned to leave and pick up Angel from the locker of his room. Oh, and Mouse, one of these prisoner scrolls saved an anbu on the Suna mission. Good work. Dragon said in a monotone, but Naruto could tell it held some bit of a pride. No problems, anything for my comrades. Your sunshine and water jutsu still suck though. He added on, I love you too, Commander, Naruto said dryly as left before Dragon could ruin the moment even more. The graveyard, 23 hours later. Combining endless sunshines and chakra channeling, Naruto and Angel arrive at the plant by 4 a.m., activating his Anbu, Anbu Tato and giving the hand signals. The blonde and cat are left into the main building, smoke blowing out of the tower in the backyard. The graveyard battleground of the seven-tailed Jinchuriki and Hiruzen Sarutobi is the second war was nothing but rock land for half a mile radius and resembled Earth rather than fire due to Sarutobi's infamous reshaping of his battlefields. The Jinchuriki had died in the battle and the resulting plus of demonic chakra prevented any greenery from growing for years, and the plant's presence kept it that way in the present. Surrounding the area was a dense forest with a single well-kept path that enemy shinobi not used to Konoha terrain would use to judge the way to the armory. To counteract this, Tenzo was busy playing God with Earth and rerouting it to a fake plant. Really, a Nanbu outpost more than equipped to deal with Suna's sabotage efforts. Inside waited three other Anbu in standard black robes who Naruto hadn't met before, and the head jonin, Takeru Nohara, a man with bored brown eyes and an unassuming face. Even his hair was a muted brown that stuck flat. Anbu agent codenamed Mouse, here to set up defense traps and measures. Naruto greeted neutrally and bowed slightly. Takeru bowed back and cleared his throat. Mouse, yes, we weren't expecting you for another 3 hours at least. No matter, you have 4 hours of rest. After that, you will be under Falcon here. And Anbu, that voicely looked like a bird, inclined her head in hellos. Anbu weren't too enthusiastic in greeting, well, unless you were Hikaru or Naruto on a sugar rush, that too. Well, where you'll be giving access to the armory to strengthen our security. Naruto bowed even as Takeru turned abruptly and heads away. Naruto fellows Black Ops members stand impassively, staring him down. Naruto started to stare back. These were some of the Anbus sent on long-term assignment, much like Ferret. Contrary to what most civilians and foreign ninja believed, Konoha Anbu operated throughout all the continent undercover, maintaining order and ruining the spy network. It was common for Anbu to be given assignments like this on one low combat, high importance but quiet for 6 months or more to wind down after being in force for longer than normal, a way to still be useful and stay sharp, but prevent breakdowns from pressure. Like Itachi Uchiha, Naruto shivered when he recalled the story Yugao had told him about the prodigy that Transit Squad Row's name. Welcome. You know I am Falcon. Those two are Walrus and Penguin. Sleeping quarters are down the hall. Falcon signed. Naruto inclined his head, curious as to why they didn't talk, as this was basically the equivalent of off-duty, but falsehood. I look forward to working with you. Naruto signed back and headed there. Angel, who kept quiet, glanced back at our new co-workers with puffed out cheeks. I don't like them, Angel declared as they lay down on the stiff bunker. Naruto chuckled, and why not? They haven't done anything. Exactly. I like Ro better. Even Hikaru is preferable than these cardboard guys. Naruto quickly quirked an eyebrow at that. Cardboard guys? Yeah. Because they have no personality. When will we be back with our squad? I don't know, Angel. Soon though, I hope. He didn't say it, but he too missed being with his friends on missions. Just then, his captain stumbled in and face-planted on his respective bunk with a groan. Hey, Captain. Naruto turned his face slightly. Tenzo just waved a limp hand. Wood, Captain. You're here. Angel soared over the distance and landed on the man's back, including a hiss. Go away, please. Angel just purred and stretched out for a nap. Next day. When did you summon me here? Akira demanded from atop Hisoke when she found herself not called to a poker game, Naruto apartment or place of dining, but in rock wasteland with a factory. There wasn't any enemies around to beat up either. You want to be summoned? Well, I need you to help. Take these seals to the top of the smoke towers and place them there. They apparently dissipate the smoke more to make it less visible. Akira scowled once She translated. It was bad enough for her summoner insisted on signing as much as possible, even when not needed, but to ask her to dirty herself for a chore? Hell no. Get a shadow clone, or better yet, do it yourself. Naruto winced, as he really didn't want to do it, and his clones could fail by running over chakra while climbing, and he really didn't want to explain to Jiraiya why his dissipation seals fluttered away on the wind. An idea struck with a few moments of panic. Then I guess Pakun was right. Panthers really don't like high places. I understand I'll make it. His hand is stopped by Akira, tackling him down and grabbing the bag with the stack of tags in her jaw and slinging it over her body. She hops back onto Hisoka and glares at Naruto. I'll show that much. No underestimate me. Let's go, Hisoka. They speed off while Naruto and Angel sniggers. That was priceless. The cat managed between laughs. Naruto agreed. Let's get to work. Falcon is waiting to walk us through the perimeter for trapping setups. Does this mean we have to come back a lot to fix them? Angel grumbled in distaste. Naruto shook his head. No. They'll have these anbu keep them in working order after I teach them how, and others will come to change them. Now be silent. I have a feeling talking is out with Falcon. Final day. Turns out Naruto was right. Falcon was the silent type. Not even Walrus and Penguin had heard Falcon's voice, and the three had been on a mission for 7 months. Even sign was out unless a point question was asked. As Naruto double-checked the barrier set up and other measures of defense before Trash showed up, he rolled his eyes at the thought of how bland Falcon was. God help him if they were ever put into a squad together or ran another mission. Ah, Mouse, I would like to thank you. Takeru smiled at him. The man was bland but kind, and Naruto already liked him. He reminded him of Tenzo, who had headed out yesterday. Thank you, it was no trouble. I also made these up for you. Naruto passed off a scroll containing different seals for the plants. The blonde had made up when he saw how sparse the place was in the tag department. Takeru curiously channeled chakra into a mixer, and over 100 seal tags ranging from large explosive to privacy seals, and even a due of prisoner scrolls for an injured comrade just in case popped up. Naruto rubbed the back of his head sheepishly. Most of these I had made already, and I just added it to it. They cost a small fortune. Nah, the supplies are a fraction of the cost, and I get a 30% discount on everything related to the third creation of the Fuinjutsu anyway. Plus, my commander would want our army to be well protected, and those might either save your lives or at least make them easier out here. The emotion towards the privacy seals. So I hope you will enjoy them. Dragon-sama will reimburse me anyway. Takeru seals them away and bows. Thank you anyway, Mouse. After a few moments, Takeru heads back inside, leaving Naruto and Angel alone to their checks. Oh ho, good work, Kaki. Jiraiya chirps from behind. It takes all of Naruto's self-control to not jump and scream, but instead turn around his tutor. Angel did not do that. As she hissed loudly, "Don't do that," she ordered an amused Jiraiya. The Sanin just chuckled. Is the kitty cat afraid? Jiraiya teased. Angel continued to glower while Naruto facepalmed. Jiraiya-sama, please tell me you've been verifying my work so we can go home. It was poker night tomorrow, and he wanted to get back in time to take the metaphorical candy from the invited Chunins and arrogant clan heads scheduled to show up. Yeah, Kaki, I checked it all out, and we're good to go. Art is an explosion. A voice was heard at the armory plant. Deidara was just going to keep flying over the building in the middle of nowhere, as there wasn't many around to appreciate his art, and he really wasn't a mad bomber, as most of Eva always claimed him to be. But then he spotted the infamous Jiraiya the Tousei. The thrill of such a fight had the explosion corps captain drooling, grinning at the fact that he could battle and then escape after having his fun. Deidara shouted down at the man who would learn to appreciate his art, and the random Jonin next to him. Art is an explosion. Deidara gave a cheeky grin as Jiraiya spotted him as an introduction. He released some clay spiders, landing on the ground nearby. He shouted "Katsu!" and small explosions littered the ground. He didn't aim for the building he recognized as the armory, because while Deidara was cocky, he wasn't stupid. Konoha might appear weak and forgiving to the civilian side, but Eva knew better. Konoha was a sleeping giant. If the plants got damaged, in his fun, Deidara would find himself being chased relentlessly by the strongest of the five nations. So he just lead them away and then make everything go kabooey. Turning his bird slightly, he flew off, smirking when the pair followed him, dodging his creation along the way. With Naruto and Jiraiya, he's mocking us. Jiraiya growled in annoyance while batting away one spider before it set off. Naruto rolled his eyes behind his mask at the stupidity of Jiraiya's decision in this situation. Following a potentially deadly enemy while letting the other Anbu stay behind me and the Gaki can handle it? Ludicrous. I, Deidara, will show you chumps the true meaning of art. It was the distance call once they were a distance away from the plant. Their formerly mystery assailant began lazily circling them. Moments later, and the bombs were starting to become more deadly, covering Jiraiya behind while the man failed at making his few long-range jutsu hit. A crazy idea hit. Jiraiya-sama, hold me up. Angel, try our wind combination too. Naruto spoke and motioned for Angel to hang on. Wait, what? Jiraiya sputtered as he remembered himself what was Naruto. As he himself was about to summon Gamamunda, but it was too late. Naruto channeled a burst of chakra into his leg and ran up to Sanin, plant his feet on the back before leaping high in the air. Once the Anbu reached a respectable height, he went through multiple handsills, windstrial, great breakthrough, and the wind blast of wind was released towards the soaring clay bird. Angel from atop Naruto head filled her lungs and blew. A steady but weak stream of fire battled into the chakra-enhancing wind gust, and the flame spread and managing to hit the bird on the tip. As the bird fluttered, Deidara topped off and his creation turned towards the human cat bear. Normally, Hellcat fire techniques were ineffective until adulthood, and Angel were worse than most. Fire took a chunk of chakra and cats never had as much as humans. However, when a Hellcat partner was with a wind user, especially one who could create torrents of winds with a high D-rank jutsu, the weakness is nullified. Ha! Take that, ponytail man, Angel corned as their opponent fell towards the earth. Problem was, so were they. Shit, Naruto cursed. The only option to remain unhurt would be focus a great breakthrough at the ground, then create shadow clones to catch their slightly slower descent. Of course, the Deidara bird had other plans than to allow them. It dive-bombed at them and Naruto's eyes widened when it started glowing. Katsu! Deidara screamed as Naruto twisted his body while snatching Angel into his chest. He might die, but Angel could survive the blast. Summoning several shadow clones, they piled on him to slightly cushion the attack, waiting for the pain that never came. What the? Naruto muttered as his body was yanked away by a slimy tongue. Can't have my apprentice die too early. I try, the valiant will take it from here. The crazy small fry is of no importance. Jiraiya thumped his chest before a top of an oversized purple toad. Both cat and boy sweat dropped and Deidara followed, soon landing on a clay animal several feet away. Oi, don't diss my art, the bomber said indignantly. Try this. My C2 dragon. As Deidara landed on a pile of clay animals, he put a wad of clay between both hands. Soon a massive dragon forms and roars, Deidara hopping on and aiming its snort towards Jiraiya and Naruto. The dragon opened his mouth and smaller versions burst from its pursuit of the two. Other smaller dragons emerged from the tail. Kaki, you and Miss Kitty distract those creatures while I take out the user. Jiraiya ordered deadly serious. For the first time since Deidara mocked them into following. Naruto nodded and made several clones took off around the field. Oh girly man, I find out your art is childish, Naruto called and taunted cheekily. Deidara roared, you little brat, go my children, turn that unbeliever into art. Angel, hold on, Naruto said as the dragon focused on them. Drawing his Chikoto, he cut several smaller bombs in half and rebounded off backwards in a single-handed handspring before the explosion landed several feet. He continued dodging. Four medium-sized dragons created on the pair. At the same time, the ground erupts from hidden explosives. Yes, taste my beautiful art, because all art is an explosion. Katsu! The four goes off as one and only a Kawirami with a shadow clone stops Naruto and Angel from becoming barbecue. Hey, you okay? Angel asked after her ears stopped ringing. Naruto grunted and held his side. I should be fine, it's just a few ribs, but I hope Jiraiya does whatever he has planned soon. He muttered. Jiraiya and his toad had disappeared some time during Naruto's distraction, creating several clones. Alone, Naruto ran through the hand shields. Windstall, quick breakthrough, created a barrier for uh, other clay bombs. Hundreds of bombs surrounded the makeshift wind barriers. Angel covers her ears and Naruto shifts, ready for more. Deidara chuckles next to his now tiny leftover dragon. You survived, eh? Then it's time to. A barrier rose up to stop the chakra flow, and the crazy man collapsed in a heap, pausing triumphantly from behind. Never fear, my young apprentice. The great Jiraiya, the gallant, just saved the day. No one can stand against the handsome devil. Naruto rolled his eyes from behind his mask and limped over. You could have ended that before it even started, Jiraiya-sama. The blonde groused. No, I have to replace my armor, and Angel's ears are damaged. Vet bills aren't cheap, you bastard. You're paying for it, he demanded and pointed an accusatory finger at Jiraiya, who was attaching several seals to Deidara's back. Oh, shut it, Kaki. Sure, I could have knocked him out sooner as he landed, but making seals capable of shutting down the explosion release takes time. It's not my fault you can't dodge worthy damn, Jiraiya said flippantly. Naruto prepared a comeback when the other Anbu landed around him. We have secured the base, Falcon signed. Orders, Jiraiya-sama, keep on alert. Me and the Gaki have this bigger Gaki under control. My spy network just got a few words of his defection. He'll be taken for his interrogation. Falcon nodded as Jiraiya words. Safe journey back. Falcon replied and the three disappeared once again. Naruto sighed as the chakra signature left. Couldn't even say bye to me. Jerks. Shut it, human. Your whining annoys me. Sorry, Kurama. Hey, you're sounding better. Naruto thought happily. He sort of almost friend spoke to him without prompting in an almost civil tone. Tch, that fight was pathetic. Naruto's sweat dropped. Maybe we're not improving at all. Toss me a prisoner scroll. Jiraiya's voice interrupted his musing. In a fluid motion, Naruto threw the scroll and Deidara's body vanished inside of it. Surprised, Naruto caught it back. I'm sending you back before me in case this was a premeditated attack. I'll add a few more barrier seals and help clean up the evidence before meeting up in Konoha. Are you okay to travel? Jiraiya looked mildly concerned at the sight. Yes, I'll be fine, Naruto assured before holding out his hand. What? Pay up. If you're quicker than Angel, wouldn't have been hurt. With a growl, Jiraiya tossed a purse of Ryu. That should cover the cost. You know, you're too overprotective of the cat. How do you expect her to be a partner if she can't fight? I thought Hellcats were supposed to be mastered in combats. Naruto bristled as he unsealed some bandages wrapped around Angel's ears. She isn't ready for this level of combat. One day she'll be stronger than any of her other kind, but until that, I'll protect her. Now good day, and don't goof off on your way home. He spoke curtly before using several consecutive sunshines away. Konoha later, Naruto landed in front of the gates the next evening, ribs still fusing together. Damn, why can't they heal faster? He mentally grumbled. Kotetsu noticed the Anbu entry, but didn't try to make lightly conversation when he noticed Naruto carrying Angel. What happened? Kotetsu asked, spotting the blood stains seeping through the bandages. And Naruto slightly burnt and ripped armor. Explosion. It burst ears, drums, and damages one. She will be fine after a visit to Hana's. Naruto clipped while signing in. Honestly, he would have sedated his partner and put her into a scroll, but the cat growled at him when he suggested it through signs. She was quite adamant to stay awake and alert, and Naruto didn't want to incite her ire later for such a minor injury. Oh well, good. Say will you be at the next poker game in a couple of days? Gated is dull enough, and watching you wipe the floor with newbies is always a joy. Maybe. Naruto said for a moment. Tokotetsu and Izumo were eternal chunins. They were actually Johnny level in strength. A village couldn't trust weaklings to guard the gates. However, putting on a militaristic view didn't attract tourists and warned potential enemies, so having two laid-back, whining but deceptively weak chunins at the desk protected the village and kept Konoha's image of peace intact. Most chunins recognized this and put up with the pair for their various bar nights, poker games, and occasional party. Izumo tried to add his 2 cents in, but Naruto had hardly had enough time and took off towards T&I before the first quiet word was spoken. 5 minutes and a surge of his chakra for identification later, Naruto was admitted to Konoha's interrogation and intelligence building. Figuring Ibiki would be the better choice to keep Deidara alive during interrogation, he knocked on the infamous man's door. Come in, a gruff voice commanded. Peeping in, he saw the dragon was there as well, and Naruto stepped in quietly and stood in attention. Oh Mouse, what are you doing here? Ibiki questioned. Naruto took out a scroll. Jiraiya-sama and I captured recently missing ninja, Deidara of Iba. After he arrived at the armory plant, Deidara has the explosion release and Kinjutsu that augments it. Deidara was captured by Jiraiya and me. Jiraiya sealed away both of his chakra and kinjutsu after a brief battle. Dragon hummed. Tell me everything, Dragon ordered. This can count as your oral report. 2 hours later, Hana had healed Angel's ears rather easily, though not before lecturing the pair on letting their guard down when in confrontations. Now the pair trudged up the stairs before going to bed. Well, really Naruto trudged. Angel just snoozed on his head while Kakashi opened his door. Ma, Naruto, back from your mission? He asked with a nice smile. Naruto glowered. No, I was just out for an evening stroll, he deadpanned while pointing to his uniform. Oh, then you won't mind training my Genins tomorrow, right? Great, thanks. All the Johnny Sensei are holding a joint training tournament tomorrow at noon in Training Ground 3, and you can run the traps course. Hell no, Naruto said immediately. I'm off duty tomorrow. Train your own brat, senpai. Mama, you are supposed to be helping to train them. I'll be away tomorrow, so thanks for the favor, Johnny. And he puffed away, no doubt to re-enter his apartment from the window. Why me? Will I ever get a day off? Naruto pulled out his hair, entering his apartment. He sat Angel down the couch and plops down on the floor to undo his armor. A deep breath from his room as a kunai already charged with chakra in his grasp. Creeping towards the door, Naruto slid it open, eyeing the dark room for intruders. What he found, though. Hikaru, get the hell out of my apartment! Naruto yelled as he found his senpai there. As this is where I'm going to be leaving this part of, guys. I hope you like this one, and if you do, please leave a like and subscribe to my channel if you like the content of this channel. And this is Apollo Uchiha, and I'm signing out. Peace.